All right, we're back. We are reading Almost Odis by me, Dusty Thompson. What do you think of my outfit? This tie is a gift from Emily Myers Garner of Jackson, Mississippi, my glamour girl who I adore. She sent this to me in the mail, and it's lovely, and it's a bit of springtime. I know Easter was just this past weekend, so happy Easter, everybody. And to my brother and sister, thanks to Easter Bunny. That is a inside family joke. You don't have to think it's funny. Anyway, hope you like the type, hope you like the book. And we're going to be on page 67, Friday, December 30th, 2011. Is this what that scorpion song was about? Question mark. It's been an exhausting Christmas season. First I got sick, then the dad got sick, then he got me sick again. It's the first time we've shared something since the opinion I was adopted became our unspoken agreement sometime during my Duran Duran haircut phase, which is slowly coming back. Happy pandemic. Since September, we've realized that although we still don't have a whole lot in common, we have both made efforts to get along and had been doing a pretty darn good job of it until last night. I witnessed an incident so hypocritical, it was absolutely breathtaking in more ways than one. Now, as I have been at various times in my life a Southern Baptist and an art major, I am more than familiar with those who are both self-righteous and hypocritical. Truth be told, I can lay down some judgment, both hypocritical and hypercritical myself, so I'm not casting any stones from my glass abode, mind you. But this particular situation was, I believe, the single most ridiculous reaction to an event I may have ever witnessed, and I'm including that boy from my hometown who ran his truck into the tree in front of his house to demonstrate to his mother he was mad at her for something pork chop related. I could be misremembering that story. But anyway, I'm not sure if he was pro or con, but he was fired up. Do you hear me? The dad banished Lulu, his faithful Boston Terrier, to bed at 8 p.m. for the sin of farting. Can you believe it? Is he kidding me? The Department of Energy has designated his bedroom as a possible alternative fuel source. Ed Begley Jr. texts me daily, urging me to do my part by procuring mass quantities of legumes, both pinto and Great Northern. When I questioned the banishment, he said, with no sense of irony, "She needs to stop farting. Starting to smell in here." Starting to smell? It has smelled since he wheeled into my life in September. I have single-handedly rescued the Febreze people from the throes of this recession with my vigilant fight against the stench that has invaded my home. The walls in his bedroom have turned a lovely shade of yellow I call unbrushed tooth. That's funny. When I laughed with my signature blend of condescension and pity, he seemed truly surprised. When I scoffed and pointedly told him anyone who passes gas as often as he should be the last person in the Americas, both North and South, and even Central, to place sanctions on someone else's faux pas, he not only pleaded confusion over my use of a French term, but wanted to know when the farting had become so political. On that note, I offer my assistance to the public for 2012. Let's air our opinion, shall we? I say we take each of the candidates for president, regardless of their party affiliation or level of delusion concerning their electability, and force them to sit in a room with the dad. Anytime one of them says something stupid, hateful, racist, xenophobic, or simply untrue, the dad would get to fart on or near them. We could do this for 2020 people. It's timely. In order for this to be fair, he would need an interpreter, as his definition of xenophobia would probably be fear of xenos. And as you know, the only people who could survive this apocalyptic situation would be a cockroach, Gary Busey, or Cher. So the fate of these candidates lies in the hand of those who have somewhat limited worldview. But I say we give it a try. The worst thing that could be, no one in the aforementioned paragraph would survive except the dad and Cher, and truth be told, we might be better off. Gives a whole meaning to the winds of change, doesn't it? Like any proper presidential historian, I wanted to take stock of the first 100 days of the dad's presidency, to ruminate over the successes, failures, and omens, both good and bad. It was mere coincidence the new year was upon us, and with my sister visiting, gave me time to reflect on how we had evolved, this family of mine. My sister, Chantel, hey girl, is unafraid to state her opinion on any topic at any time. She had warned me I would regret the decision of my dad moving in, and I was interested in whether or not she maintained this stance. Also, there were other times when I did wonder if I had made a mistake or I was unaware of his depression. When I was too tired to cater to his every whim, he simply became moody and isolated. He didn't understand I needed time by myself when I came home from work, as I am an extroverted introvert who needs time to recharge. It's a real thing, y'all. I'm a loud introvert. After 8 to 9 hours of dealing with people all day, I just wanted to relax, rest, and read to decompress. He wanted to visit as he had done nothing all day other than listen to music or TV, eat, and crochet, and wait for me to get home. No matter how much you love someone, there are times when you wish they were simply elsewhere. I resorted to hiding with a book, and usually Lulu, who always seemed to find me. She liked me best. I am almost not a big fan of TV. That is not right. I am also not a big fan of TV. So when I had more than I could take within the first couple of months, the main thing we enjoyed together was gone. He watches TV from 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. Or rather, he will tell you he isn't watching it, but it is on throughout the day. I never had cable in my home in my adult life until he moved in with me. When I pulled away from TV viewing with him, I pretty much pulled away from him, and he was very unhappy. Of course, the dad, in his passive-aggressive way, didn't directly address his unhappiness. He simply took every opportunity to ruin any other pleasant time by pouting. It's something unnerving to watch a grown man sigh dramatically and repeatedly and look off into the middle distance like those people in soap operas. Until I ask, "What's wrong?" To which he will reply initially, "Huh?" and then sigh, "Oh, nothing." How do you interact with a 70-year-old angst-riddled teenager filled to the brim with coffee spam and ennui? I'm sure I wasn't always patient, but I had no children by choice. The dad gene isn't in me. For real. The uncle gene I have in spades. I am a fabulous uncle. I am great in short bursts and from a distance, but I do not have the patience to deal with a child, and while the dad didn't always act like a child, he could sometimes seem extremely childish, and I had to assume the adult role, which was just odd to me and appeared condescending to him. His most common lament was, "You think you're better than me," or "You talk to me like I'm a kid." The one time I responded, "Then don't act like a kid," caused both of us so much discomfort we simply backed away into our separate bedrooms without further discussion, neither of us quite sure how to make the next move. We silently agreed to simply pretend it never happened. The next morning, in typical Thompson man response, I offered to cook his favorite meal for dinner, and he told me he liked my tie. All in all, it was working fairly well. I had no expectations of a house unfettered with random problems. We are humans and therefore imperfect. With this in mind, I started the new year with, if not a new outlook, at least an idea of the need for a new outlook. And we'll stop there and see you next time. Thanks.